transition to something Cowboy-related a little bit later on. As I said yesterday and said firmly that Wade Phillips was going to be fired and needed to be fired, if you're Jerry Jones, you have to say to your fan base, I'm mad and I'm not going to take it anymore. I know Wade Phillips, nice guy. Well, you know what they say about nice guys. Jason Garrett is in on an interim basis. Jerry Jones saying all the things you would probably think that Jerry Jones would say during his press conference yesterday.
We're not where we want to be at this time, and that's an understatement. We also share the responsibility in that, all of us.
Yeah, you do. And here's the hard part for Jerry Jones. Jerry's the problem. That's the hard part for Jerry Jones. He loves sitting up there and answering questions and being in the locker room, being quoted. He needs somebody to say to him, Jerry, you're the problem. Great businessman. Absolutely. But how good are you as a businessman if the product that you put on the field is substandard? If a person you have leading your team on the field is substandard? Eventually I have to look at you and say, Jerry, are you doing all the right things? Every time you see a coach who is a nice guy, what do? We bring in a disciplinarian. It's like a politician. Well, the Democrat didn't work out, so bring in the Republican. You know what? That guy's too tough on the players. Let's bring in a players coach. Well, get ready for the disciplinarian in Dallas. The question will be, will Jerry have the guts to say, it's your team, you run it? Can Jerry stop being Jerry? And I don't know if he can. Oh, you're going to hear Gruden. You'll hear Cowher. I mentioned Holmgren because I think Holmgren's going to coach again. John Fox in Carolina. He's not going to be back in Carolina. Does he have the guts to say, now you go coach? I said that the problem with Daniel Snyder in Washington was Daniel Snyder. You brought in Shanahan. You let Shanahan coach. Now, hasn't turned out as we thought, but it's been better than what it was before with his other coaches that he handpicked. You have to have somebody who turns to the owner and says, no. I'm going to do it this way. Will Jerry Jones do that? Sports. Jason Garrett in the chair. He was the coach in waiting, had turned down the opportunities to coach at Baltimore and Atlanta, and he's on the clock to see if he can salvage the rest of this season and perhaps get the job. I'm not sure what he has to do, and Jerry Jones was very careful in saying what Jason had to accomplish. This is more accountability. Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com, had an article saying that, according to the locker room, a lot of the players don't like Jason Garrett. Okay, that's fine. You saw how they played for Wade Phillips, and they liked Wade Phillips. How about these guys in the locker room grow up? You don't like him? Okay. You still get paid, go out and play. Some professional pride for a change. Jason Garrett yesterday on replacing Wade Phillips.
I want to say it's been a really honor and a privilege for me to coach for Wade Phillips over these last 3.5 years. I've said this to you guys before. He's as fine a person as you will meet in or out of football. I think his track record as a coach, as an assistant coach, as a coordinator, and as a head coach in the NFL speaks for itself.
Yes, it does. Nice man, but wasn't the right guy for the job. That was told to you on many occasions on this program. Not the right guy, but the right guy for Jerry Jones. And I'm starting to wonder if we look at the Cowboys, because they're the Cowboys, and we look at this with Notre Dame or with Duke basketball, the Yankees, do we make them better than what they really are because that's who they are? We're expecting greatness out of them. Maybe the Cowboys aren't great. Maybe this talent that we've looked at, we've overrated. But Jerry has to get the right guy in the chair that's going to run that team. And is Jerry willing to step aside to allow that to happen? Cowboys Hall of Famer, the great Michael Irvin, the playmaker.